Hi, and welcome to Cooking in Mike's Backyard. Today we're going to be making baby back ribs. Now, baby backs are a backyard classic, and everybody who's got a smoker or a backyard barbecue should really develop their own style of making them. Now, that being said, this video is going to show you how I do it. I'm going to show you how to prep the meat, spice it, and a cooking profile that works well for me. Once you get down the basics though, you really should experiment. Play around with the spices, play around with the cooking times and temperatures until you have a product that you're proud of, something that's your own. Make it a signature item, something that people will talk about when they come over to eat in your backyard. All right, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to prep the meat. Okay, to prep the baby back ribs, all you want to do on this side is just cut off any loose pieces of meat. Kind of square them up a little bit so they cook evenly. Those are pretty good. I might trim off a little bit of this fat right here. Not much, just a little. Those are pretty good. Now on the back side, sometimes they'll have a membrane. There's actually two membranes lying on top of one another. What you want to do is you want to peel off the top membrane. Usually it comes off in one pull. Sometimes it takes a couple. And then you just have to trim off the pieces that are hanging on. Okay, so that's prepping them. It's pretty easy. Now it's time to move on to the next step. Now that we've got the meat prepped, this next step is purely optional. I like to brine my ribs before I cook them. Some people brine them, some people don't. I don't always do it. If I don't have enough time, I'll just jump to the next phase of spicing them. But today we've got plenty of time, so I'm going to show you a good way to brine them. Okay, for the brine, I start out with a half a cup of kosher salt. I add 2 cups of hot black coffee. And to that, I add a quart of apple juice. And then I just mix it up, make sure all that salt's dissolved. Okay, to brine them, well, all I'm going to do is take the ribs, put them in a large Ziploc bag. Okay, so once I've got them in the bag, I'm just going to pour the brine right onto the meat. Close up the bag almost all the way and purge out all the air. So I'm just going to let them soak in the brine, meat side down, for about 3 hours. I like my rub for pork ribs to be somewhat sweet, a little spicy, but not too spicy. So this is the rub I mix. I use 1 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 tablespoons coarse black pepper, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of paprika, and just mix it up. All right, so once they've been in the brine for 3 hours, you just pull them out and just pat them dry. Now, because these have been soaking in the brine, you don't need to put on any bonding agent on the ribs themselves. Just sprinkle the ribs liberally with the rub. And you just rub it in. Not too hard. You just want to make sure you get it good and coated. Then you just sort of pat it in and let it absorb. I do this in a pan because we have a couple racks we're doing here, and I want to make sure that I have enough rub for all of them. You want to do the front, do the top and the back. All right, after you get them thoroughly rubbed, we're going to let them sit for a couple minutes, and then we're going to put them in the smoker, rib side down at 250 degrees. We're smoking with hickory today. They're going to be uncovered for 2.5 hours. All right. So the ribs have been in the smoker for 2.5 hours. I placed them on foil, 2 layers of foil so that the bones don't poke through the foil when you wrap them up. And what I do is I just squirt a little bit of honey on the top of the meat. You don't have to wipe it around because it's going to mix up when we put them back in the smoker. Also going to sprinkle the top with brown sugar. Once I get it covered with brown sugar, I flip them over and just put on about a 1/4 cup of butter. Just cut into cubes. This is gonna melt up pretty quickly. All right, so then once you get the butter on, you just wrap them tightly. All right, so after you get them wrapped up, they go back in the smoker, meat side down, for an hour. Okay, after they've been in the foil for an hour, you take them out, put them in a pan, and sauce them on both sides. They go back into the smoker, same temperature, 250 degrees, for about 30 minutes until the barbecue sauce coagulates. All right, they've been in the smoker for 30 minutes. It's time to cut them and see how they look. Oh, that's good. It's got good smoke permeation. Meat feels really tender and moist. It's falling off the bone if you pull it. Looks like perfect. Only one way to tell though, we gotta give it a taste. All right, let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, those are good. Oh yeah. All right, so now that you've got the basics down, I urge you to go out, experiment, play around with the spicing, play around with the cooking profiles, make these your own. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm making videos as often as I can. If you liked it, please hit like or subscribe, and thanks for watching.